artists. You guys ready to do another art lesson today? I sure hope so. It's a little bit kind of dreary outside today, but I thought it would be fun for me to come out here and show you one of my favorite places at my house. And so my front porch is a place where I love to come out and sit, and I love to read. And so today my little tidbit about me is that reading is one of my favorite things to do. This is one of my favorite books that I've read. It's called A Dog's Way Home, and I know there's also a movie about it. But I love reading. I love reading before I go to bed. I love reading during the daytime, especially on rainy days like yesterday. And I love being able to curl up with a good book. So I hope you're doing that at home as well. So this is my front porch, and I thought it would be great for you guys to see just a new aspect of my house. You guys have been seeing my art videos from my art room, my art studio, which is right inside the front door. And so today you get to the courtesy of seeing out front. I'm not gonna stay out here for too long because there's a little bit of banging going on around the corner. I think there's a neighbor doing a little bit of their own home improvement projects. And so I'm just gonna stay out here for a bit. And so the first thing that I wanna do before I head inside to the art room to start our art lesson today is I wanna tell you some of the materials that you can go gather. And so after I'm done out front, I'm gonna hit pause and you guys can go gather your materials. The first thing I want you to remember to get today though, is I want you to go get a garbage can or a garbage bag of some sort, so that when you're finished with your art lesson today, your parents are not ready to come find Mrs. McGinnis at her house and tell me no more art lessons. So let me tell you, today we are going to be talking about an artist, a famous artist, and his name is Tyree Guyton, and we're gonna read a story called Magic Trash when we go inside. And so today, we're not gonna go dig through the dumpsters, we're not gonna go dig through the trash cans or anything, but we are gonna gather some materials around our house that might be useful in our art project today. So let me go ahead and show you some of the things I've gathered. I have a little box here, and so let me show you what I've got. The first thing that I gathered, I grabbed some magazines, okay? They don't have to be fancy magazines. Oh, I see one of my artists from Cascade here. I think it's Riley. So obviously I didn't cut her picture out because she's beautiful. This was a magazine that I grabbed when I was at Albertsons getting some of my essential groceries. I grabbed this. It's just like an activities magazines for the Valley. Foothills magazine is a good one. And this was one that I got around, I think it was, I don't remember, Christmas time or whatever. I read it, and now it's something that I might be able to find some fun things out of. Do not go get your parents' magazines without permission, please. Whatever you gather today, make sure you have permission. So you have a garbage can, magazines. This was a birthday sign that somebody made for Carter. His birthday was last week. You could grab cardboard. It doesn't have to be fancy. Maybe you have some craft paper that's been cut up or used that you might be able to use as well. You're gonna need maybe you have construction paper. It doesn't have to be white or black. It could be any kind of paper, printer paper, whatever you have works. I even gathered a couple of birthday cards here that I don't need anymore. My birthday was in January, and I might be able to use some of the pictures or colors that you see on the birthday card. Couple balloons if you have, maybe something like that. It could be really anything. You're just kind of gathering anything that could be art. I've got some twine, maybe some ribbon if you had it. You have tape might work. Some glue, and I even have like an old bell that I have. I don't know where I got it from Christmas. So actually I'm going to give you a second tidbit about me today. One was I love to read on my front porch. Second tidbit, I collect a lot of things. I'm kind of a junk collector. I'm not a hoarder. I wouldn't call myself a hoarder, but I do like to gather things, and I don't like to throw a lot of my art things away because I always think I might need it at some time or other, and I usually do. So my goal for myself during quarantine is to organize my art materials, which I've already done, which feels so much better now that I have those things organized. The other thing, so maybe we've got tissue paper, that might work today. This is just some random paper I had laying around. Honestly, just go grab a few things. Make sure you have permission, and I mean that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and hit pause, and I will meet you guys inside. We'll read our story, and then we'll talk about what we're gonna do today. Get your materials? I sure hope so. One thing I did forget to have you get as a material was scissors, and so we'll use those a little bit later as well. So today we're gonna read a story the title of it is called Magic Trash, and it is a story of Tyree Guyton and his art. This is written by J.H. Shapiro and it's illustrated by Vanessa Brantley Newton. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Magic Trash. And I'm going to kind of pop myself out of the picture so that you guys can see the pictures a little bit better. So here we go. A winter chill whooshed down Heidelberg Street. Young Tyree Guyton buttoned his coat. Pop! His last button flipped into the gutter. He dove after it, then dug through frosty leaves. He pried a popsicle stick from the ice. He hoisted a bicycle wheel off the curb. He scooped up a baseball cap buried in the snow. Pockets clanking, Tyree darted home. A home on the east side of Detroit that already bulged with 10 children. Shop around, sang Tyree. Tyree sang along with the radio as he unloaded the day's finds. I'm trying to scoot so you guys can see the pictures. Sorry. I need to get in the right spot. Okay. With the radio as he unloaded the day's finds, his mama didn't earn enough money sewing and cleaning to buy new shoes, much less bikes and balls. So he zapped fun into amazing junk that others tossed away. Popsicle sticks became boards to build a house. The cap soared like a rocket ship. The wheel bounced, spokes jumping, dots danced. Let rockets fly, boards tower high, bounce, jump, and dance, magic trash. Tyree barely heard the thump thwack of his brother's games while he dreamed up designs. In school, he sat alone, drawing pictures. When his report card arrived, his aunt asked, "Is Tyree dumb? Maybe crazy?" His mama whispered. Then, one sunny day when Tyree was 9, his grandpa Sam, a house painter, plopped a brush into his hands. "Paint the world," Grandpa said. Tyree dipped into Grandpa's cans of color, sloshing purple, slapping yellow, aiming his brush like a magic wand. Abracadabra, Tyree's shyness vanished. Sweet apples crunched when he glopped the red. He'd never seen Lake Huron, but now it splashed in a pool of blue. "Like new," Grandpa said, of a glistening ladder. Tyree smiled and swirled a shade of green. Other kids on the street giggled and razzled. "Look at his green face. Ha, green junk." Still, as Tyree zoomed from bent bottle caps to rusty wheels, Grandpa Sam's words twirled in his head. "I'm going to be an artist," said Tyree. His mama hung her head. "That's not a job." He peered into Grandpa's twinkling eyes. Tyree clenched his brush. He would be an artist, yes. Brush greens and blues on wheels and shoes, slop, slash, and splash. Magic trash. At age 12, Tyree squinted into spiraling smoke as National Guard tanks rolled down nearby Mount Elliott Street. All his life, neighbors had raced out of town to live in new suburbs. Now, some who had stayed exploded in rage like shaken bottles of Verner's ginger ale. Tyree gawked, teeth chattering. Rioters were burning buildings in his neighborhood. When he grew to be 16, Tyree too left the shapes and hues of Heidelberg Street to seek a new life. He marched as a soldier. He inspected cars in a factory. He doused fires as a firefighter. But he never forgot about painting his world, so he enrolled in art school to learn about colors, lines, and designs. At last, Tyree bolted back home to Heidelberg Street. When he returned, though, his street had changed. Houses sat deserted, creeping with spirits of owners who had run away from the neighborhood. Tyree tripped over trash, lots of trash, and troublemakers lurked. They snuck into hollow houses. They even set fire to one. Whoo, spirits whirl, new troubles swirl, kick, burn, and hurl magic trash. "No," cried Tyree, "not on this street." His mama still lived in the same home. Grandpa Sam painted pictures, inside now. So this all makes Tyree feel horrible. He does not like what he's seeing now that he's coming back to Heidelberg Street. Let's see what he does. Tyree grabbed his brush and burrowed through rubbish. He cast spells on suitcases, toilets, and a slide trombone. Before the colors dried, Grandpa Sam hurried out to help. They painted a busted bus. They tied shoes to trees. They flung broken bikes and cast-off tires on burned-out buildings and forgotten yards. And they painted faces of God in blue, black, and orange. Their street now sparkled. When trouble still sizzled in one discarded home, Tyree coated it in dots and squares of pink, blue, and yellow, and purple, then perched a magenta watchdog on the front porch. Dopey, dealing thieves hustled from its view, chased away by bright paint and barking trash. Tyree named one home Dotty Waddy and another Funhouse. Spying hungry, crying children, he dangled broken baby dolls on telephone poles and rooftops. Dolls sobbed with each puff of wind. Maybe now others would see. Bright colors flash, scared dealers dash, bark, cry, and swing, magic trash. Some people squawked about the garbage. A few neighbors complained to the city. The mayor and his helpers stomped. Soon, bulldozers roared up to the project to crush every doll and board. "You can't do that," yelled the neighbors as dust swooped to the treetops. "Get out of here," others screamed. "Tyree's trash is beautiful." Tyree scrambled to snatch a few pieces. "This is my art," he cried, but the dots and stripes and baby dolls lay bashed and smashed and still. Tyree rubbed his eyes. Grandpa Sam's poked at piles. Old houses talk, some neighbors squawk. Crash, bash, and smash. Magic trash. Art had filled Tyree's and Grandpa Sam's lives. Now 93, Grandpa Sam had grown too old to help. "Never stop painting," said Grandpa, squeezing Tyree's hand. And then Tyree stood alone with brushes, paint, and trash. He wasn't alone for long, though. "We can help," neighbors called. "Your colors and dots chased away those thieves." Together, they shoveled, swept, and hauled in new trash. Then, after 8 years of painting and rebuilding, neighbors heard wreckers screech a second time. Faces of God watched while the city crushed 2 more homes. "No," yelled Tyree. Tyree and his neighbors were hopping mad. "The street is ours," they said. "We'll never quit." They marched downtown to tell their story to a judge and jury. The city argued that Heidelberg Street was a garbage dump. "No," decided the court, "it is art. Tyree's work survived." Notice they weren't violent when they protested. The next day, Tyree and his neighbors began anew, aiming their brushes like magic wands. Children sang as they hammered and spattered designs. Even former troublemakers returned, ready to rake, sweep, and build. United by trash, they cast a spell on the street, brightening their home for good. Word of Heidelberg Street spread far. It blazed across the air. Folks from Canada, Kenya, and Japan scurried to the neighborhood. They stared. "Wow, look at that." Tyree waved his brush. "Welcome," he said. In a warm breeze, dots danced, gleamed, gleaming cast-offs jangled and jumped. Let rockets fly, boards tower high, bounce, jump, and dance. Magic trash. The end. And I'm going to put a couple of pictures up here, and I'll show you a few more in a few minutes when I get to my aerial view. But here's a picture of, you can see Tyree there doing some of his artwork, and there's the house. I think that's the one he called Dotty Dot. So that's the end of the story today. And I'll also show you another picture of Tyree in real life and a few pieces of his artwork on that famous Heidelberg Street. And so Tyree did become, he's a famous artist, and one word of caution that I would always say is that when you are going to make a piece of art, you never,
ever paint, you never move anything on anyone else's property unless it's your own and you have permission, okay? So I don't want to see any kids out this week painting on their houses, no painting dots, okay? Nothing like that. We're going to do something a little different to honor Tyree today in our artwork, but we're going to do it with the things that we've gathered, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my aerial view, and I will show you what we're going to do today. We are going to do something, I'm going to give you a few choices on what you do today, all right? So hold tight, I'll be right back.
Okay, so now for our art lesson, and since we can't go outside and really gather a ton of trash and paint houses and do some crazy things like Tyree Guyton did today, I thought we could kind of improvise. And I was thinking that I'm going to give you a couple of different options today. The first option that I'm going to do today with you is going to involve just a regular piece of paper. It could be white, black, whatever you have, printer paper. It could even just be a piece of cardboard that you use if you wanted to for your background. And so I'm going to go ahead and it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use a black piece of paper today. And it's going to involve magazines, okay? Or cards, or maybe you have some scrapbooking paper, anything like that that you have lying around. It really doesn't matter. And we are going to be making a collage, and you're going to get to choose the theme of your collage. And so I want to show you a couple that I've done today, and then we'll start digging through our magazines and seeing what we can find today. You can also use real pictures if you wanted to, but make sure you have permission. So the first one I'm going to do today is, that I'm going to show you today is this one. And I kind of went with a local theme because I know that since we're home and we're on quarantine, we're trying to support those local businesses. And so I went ahead and just found the first thing I wanted to do was cover up my background. And so you can see I used white paper here, but you can hardly see any white paper left. I've covered up my whole page today. I've got apples here, and I kind of went with food and outdoor theme. I've got some fun food here, some grapes. This is actually a picture of one of the local restaurants. I think that's Lomolo. There's fruit. I have fruit stands here. I've got the word Wenatchee, and we're going to be cutting out anything that you find that catches your eye. So it really doesn't matter. It could be animals. Maybe you want to do an animal theme. That's what you love. Or maybe you want to do just a random collage today. It really is up to you. So the second one I did, I used a black piece of paper just to show you that it really doesn't matter what you're using. And I did more of an active theme here because that's been something I've been trying to do more, is be more active. And so I did kind of an outdoor theme, or things you can be doing during this time right now, because there's a lot of things we cannot be doing. So I did filled up, as you can see, I didn't leave a ton of black paper showing. The goal is to fill it up. You can use pictures, words, whatever. In fact, if you look here, it says be active. I cut out different letters from different parts of the magazine today. And then I have some, I think this is Only Gardens. I did a fun 4th of July, because hopefully that's something we can look forward to, is seeing those fireworks 4th of July. I did another picture here. This is some flowers, some spring flowers. I'm not sure what lake that is, but, and then I did a couple maps. And then I put even this girl here. I thought that was kind of funny. She had a mop. Maybe you can help spring clean around your house. A biker. It says family fun, Wenatchee Valley. Look it up. Use your phone to look up where you're headed, maybe, so you don't get lost. Loop trail. And that was kind of my second one that I did. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start. I'm going to just start cutting some things out. Right now, I will be honest with you, I have no clue what the theme for this next one is going to be, but I am going to cut out some of these guys because I thought they were kind of fun. And Carter gave me permission to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out these guys. And I'm not going to cut them out perfectly. I'm just going to kind of cut the outline of it out, and I can cut the rest of it out a little bit later. Okay, and I'm going to start making a pile. Now, don't forget, you need to have a garbage can handy so that you do not end up with a mess everywhere. So I have my garbage can right next to me, and every time I get a little pile going, I'm going to put the garbage in the garbage where it belongs, okay? I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, I think this is pretty. I might cut out. I'm just going to cut out this whole thing, and I can choose which parts of it I want to use later, but I'm really liking this colors of this like bed frame here. I like that plant I might use. So I'm going to set this over here. I'm kind of making my pile as I go. I'm going to start just kind of flipping through. And if you see something, you're doing the same thing. It catches your eye, you're gonna cut it out. You can stop and cut it out. Let's see here. Ooh, those flowers are sure pretty. Let's cut out some flowers. As again, I don't have a theme, and you might not even end up with a theme. That word might work because we are kind of stuck inside a lot, so that might be something. Maybe I might go with an inside theme. Let's cut out that word. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. Oh, scraps. Garbage. Make your parents happy. Oh, that's adorable. Maybe I'll cut out this boot. I don't know if I want to use the flowers or not, but right now I'm not doing my very best cutting. That's going to come from later, from a little bit later. That here, that page didn't come out, so I'm going to leave it stay put. Kind of do just a quick little breeze through here and see if anything pops out at me as I go. I'm not really looking for Christmas, but ooh, those apples are cool and that's pretty. Take this maybe. Obviously, I'm kind of seeing a flower theme coming along here. Maybe spring flowers. Maybe you're finding a theme. Maybe you're seeing like sports pop up in yours. Maybe you're cutting out lots of things that are sports or animals or activities, or maybe you have a gaming theme coming along. Who knows? It's really kind of just whatever happens as you're flipping through. Ooh, I kind of like that. I like that. That could be a fun background, maybe. Cut that out. This is garbage. Cut it out. Let's see here. I'm gonna get this part. You don't want to just rip. You do want to do a little bit of cutting so that you don't rip everything, but that part I might rip just a little bit, okay? Let's see here. You know what? I like that green. That's a fun, vibrant green. I'm going kind of liking these blue and green colors I'm finding. Maybe for another background. I don't really know if I want the legs, but I do kind of like this part, so I'll take that. Let's see here. Those are kind of fun. Maybe I'll cut those out. So you're just kind of going around and just kind of getting some things. Now you might not use everything and you don't have to. It really is up to you what you use and what you don't use. So let's see. Ooh, those are fun. I like this. Bandana banner. Ooh, there's an actual craft that you could maybe do at home if you had bandanas. That's fun. Maybe for outside on your patio or something. Maybe I'll give that a try. Although I don't have a ton of bandanas, but I'm trying to think what else I could maybe use. Let's see. I'm not really going for a winter theme, so I don't really want anything wintry. And it looks like I'm coming back to where I started. So that magazine, I'm going to kind of sit over here to the side. Put it over here. I'm not going to throw it. I'm going to kind of put it to the side here, okay? Oh, there's sweet Riley. I hope you're doing good, Riley. And let's go ahead, and you'll notice I've already cut through some of these. See that? Because I used it for my first two. But I am liking this vibrant blue that I might use for this, my new one. And I have decided I'm gonna title my collage Spring. Okay, so now I need to find the words spring. And so I see on here, I see SP. So maybe I'm just gonna cut this letter out, and I'll cut the letters out specifically. I'll cut those words out, that word spin, set it over here, and I'll cut more out later. Oh, bike helmet. Make sure you wear a helmet if you're riding your bike right now, but I'm not gonna do that one today. I also need to find some more letters, and so there's a P that I could use, and I like to use different ones. It's kind of fun to do. So I'll cut those out later. I'll get the P later. So let's see, looking for kind of a large R. Oh, there's one right there. Perfect. Cut it out. Remember, I'll get that. Okay, I'll cut out each specific letter in a bit. Let's see, I've got there's some good ones. Spring. Got an R. Spring. No G. Darn it. but that's okay. Just keep looking. Some fun pictures in here. This is one of my favorite local magazines. It was actually hard for me to kind of cut into it a little bit. Oh, there's a G. That's kind of what I was looking for. Right there's that G. And so now I am ready to start gluing, I believe, on my collage. And so my first step is going to be to get a background going, and then I'll add the fun things that I saw that were spring, like the bandana and the flowers. And so I'm gonna start by cutting out part of this because I thought that was a really cool piece that I liked, and so I loved those colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this part out here. And a lot of you probably don't spend a ton of time doing cutting and gluing, and so be patient with yourself, especially if your hand gets kind of tired, your fingers, because when I did this yesterday, I kind of right in here was starting to get a little sore, and so it's fine to take a break every once in a while. So I'm gonna cut these out. I'm gonna cut along the bottom, kind of trim it up a little bit. Remember, the scraps go in the garbage, so there's that. I'm also kind of just liking these colors in here, so maybe I'll add those in a little bit. Set that there. And remember, you can arrange it. It doesn't have to be arranged right next door. And so let's go ahead and see what else we found here. Oh, remember I found this. I really like that. So I'm going to kind of trim this up. I hope you guys are able to see. I haven't done a check yet on how that's looking. I think I'm going to leave the little bowl of fruit or whatever that is. Stick that on there. Remember, I don't know where these things are going right now. I'm just kind of arranging, and I really like these colors, and so I'm going to go ahead and get these ones in here. Just kind of really pretty, vibrant, springy. Those remind me of the beach. Someday we'll hopefully get to go back to the beach when it opens up again. Let's add this in here. And I kind of am actually going to use every bit of this pattern color because I'm going to kind of spread them out a little bit, and it'll bring my collage kind of together. It'll tie it all together. There maybe. Oh, let me get my garbage. I'm starting to get a little bit of a pile here. That's the best way to stay kind of cleaned up. Okay. I think I'm going to use this pillow also, even though once I cut it out, no one would even really know it was a pillow. Let's see what else I have for backgrounds. Those were letters. I wanted to maybe use the flowers and that and that. That could maybe be part of a background, I think. Those little whisks with the tea light candles in them, so I might use that for a background. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to get my background glued down. Okay, so I'm just going to get regular old glue. You can use a glue stick, you can use regular glue. If you don't have either of those, you can even use tape. It's really up to you how you get it to lay down. One trick though is I don't like to put the glue on the actual paper for the background. I actually like to put it on the paper that I'm going to be laying down. So first I think I'm just going to turn it over, and remember, you don't need too much, just enough to make it lay down flat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add that on here, and it doesn't have to be on perfect. It can overlap a little bit. I think I'm going to do this one. I'm going to turn it over, add some glue. Whoops, I picked up that piece on accident. Okay, I think I'm going to go this one upside down. I'm going to go like this. Change it up a little bit. Okay, remember, it doesn't have to go the exact way that you found it. Let's see, this guy looks like it would fit pretty good right in there. So I'm gonna go and add this in there. Really, a collage is kind of a hodgepodge of things that you find that you want to include in your picture. There are all different themes for collages. There's some that are just random abstract. Some collages are a little bit more focused. Like today I'm doing one that's a little more springtime, and it really is up to the collage artist. And so kind of like our artist that we learned about this week, Tyree Guyton, he just kind of played around and found his style, and that's what I want you to be doing while you're at home over the next few weeks. Is remember, some of you are so concerned about making your art look just like mine that you forget about who you are as an artist. And I want you to really be tapping into what you like as an artist. In fact, some of you might even want to go a step further, you might not even want to do a collage. Maybe you want to get a cardboard box and see if you can break it up, and maybe you want to try to make a house like Tyree. Remember, he would paint them, and you want to create and build the house, and then you want to decorate the house the way you would if you were Tyree. Okay, so that's another option for you today. You could do that if you wanted. You could use ribbon and hang things and dangle from there. I'm gonna go ahead now. Let's see, what else do I have? That's garbage, that's garbage. Now I'm gonna start adding the pictures that I found. Oh, so I have another background piece right here that I need to add, okay? And the pictures that I found, they might overlap and go over some of the things that are my background. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the water bottle. Kind of reminds me of springtime, going on bike rides or hikes or long walks, especially walks with the dogs right now, so we can get out of the house a little bit. Let's go ahead and add that on there. Did I add that one on yet? Yeah, okay. So now I might cut out these flowers, and I want to this is where I want to do a little bit of a better job cutting. I don't want to be in a giant hurry and make it look like I chewed it, because that really wouldn't look the way we want it to look. So, okay, cut it out. Now remember, I'm kind of doing mine quickly just because I can't stay on the camera for like 5 hours doing this with you guys. So I want you to take your time, and I want you to really create a piece of art that you are proud of, okay? And the longer you take on this, hopefully maybe the longer of a break you'll give mom and dad a little bit so they can get some work done, and then everybody will be happy when it is all done and over with. So let's see, that one's kind of a big one. That one I'm gonna do kind of overlap here. Rain boot, I love this rain boot. This is kind of fun. Remember, don't make a giant mess, okay? Or else I won't be able to do these ones, and then I won't be able to do these fun lessons again. So, let's see. And then after I get my rain boot cut out, then I'm gonna get my words, or my letters, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and create, I like that word inside, because we were kind of talking about how we've been stuck inside. So maybe inside, and then maybe I'll do the word spring. So let me cut out the letter S, the letter P, whoops, the letter R. Oh, I forgot about my little cool beans in here. We'll put my little bean guy. Where should we put him? He's gonna go up here. Just chilling out sideways. Let's see, so we've got an S. And I want to put these letters where they're going to show up the brightest. So I'm going to go S and P and R. Where's my I? I know I had an I somewhere. Oh, yep, that's right here. I. And then my last two letters are actually going to be a different color. They're going to be N and, wait, where'd my G go? I knew I had it, but I lost it. Well, I'm gonna have to go back and find my G, boys and girls. I don't see it right now, but you know what I mean. I needed to end it with a G, and then maybe I'll add, I'm gonna put this here, and then here, and then there you have it. It's a simple collage, boys and girls, okay? So that's your first option today, okay, is to make a fun collage. Second option today is to create something a little bit more 3D, okay? I'm just checking to see. So 3D, so if I turn it, it pops up. It doesn't lay flat. And I'm gonna show you how to make a simple flower that is 3D using magazine clips, construction paper, or craft paper. So what it takes is whatever color of background paper you want, doesn't matter, whatever color you want. Let me find mine. I had a piece of white paper here earlier and I've lost it. There it is, okay. And you are going to be taking some paper, whatever color you want for your flowers, and you are going to be drawing, and if you can do this, if you can draw a curved line, okay, and you don't want it to be teeny tiny, or else you're gonna have a tiny little flower, okay, a curved line, then you're gonna do another curved line, and that's gonna be your flower petal. okay? And you're gonna cut out a whole bunch of flower petals. And just to save on time, I have already done this. So I have my flower petals already cut out. And you can cut out your flower petals if you wanna use magazine clippings. I just had, and you want a variety of different colors and sizes. Some of them might be smaller, some of them might be bigger, okay? So that's your first step today, okay? And so what we're gonna do first is, we're gonna have our paper, it's gonna go up and down, not side to side, so up and down here, okay? And about halfway up, right in the middle, touch your finger, and then go up a little bit ways further. And you're gonna make a circle-ish shape, and that's gonna be the center, and we'll put something there later, okay? Then what you're gonna do after you've cut out all of your leaves, or your petals for your flower, you're gonna take them and you're just gonna start gluing them down. But let me show you, okay? Like on mine, I can choose which side I want. You only wanna put glue on part of it. You don't wanna put glue on the side. So just this part where you see my finger, just this half down here is gonna have some glue on it. So watch, only just this part, okay? So it still pops up a little bit, so watch. Glue this part down, this part's still kind of flapping in the wind, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. There's no rhyme or reason to how you do it. It really is up to you. So I'm gonna put a glue on it here and glue it down. See, I've got it kind of where they can they're not gonna be perfect. They're not gonna be right next door to each other perfect, okay? Let's see, let's do this one. This is a longer, skinnier one, but it still works. Put some glue on there, lay it down. Glue on there, lay it down. It goes quite quickly if you just get going on it. This time I'm gonna do the other side, lay it down. Okay, remember this side, this part's flapping up. If you accidentally glue one down, it's no big deal. Just glue on a part of it here. Lay this one down. Let's see here. Let's go with this one. Glue and lay it down, okay? First step, okay? Then take your pencil, okay? And you are going to curl it just a little bit. See, I'm kind of curling it around and then kind of hold it. And then it pops up, okay? So you're gonna curl them. You can turn it as you go if you want to. If you don't wanna use your pencil to curl them, you don't have to. If you don't wanna curl them, you don't have to. It really is up to you, okay? Curl it. Oh, that one bent a little bit. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to leave it alone. I can finish it up a little bit later. Curl it. Turning it as I go a little bit. Curl it. And then curl it. Now, if you make a collage, I would love it if you would share it with your family and explain to them what you did and why you chose to put in your collage what you chose. So let's go ahead now. I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to get some more petals. And this time, watch, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to lay it right in between those two. See? Okay. Get another one. Put some glue on there. Right in between these two. Okay. Next one. This part of it. Right in between these two. See how I'm doing that? Okay. And then you're going to keep going and going until you are happy with your flower. So I'm going to keep going here. I apologize if my video is getting a little too long this week, but I was really excited about these two options, and you might want to do both options. I would love it if you would choose to do both options because I love seeing all the art that you guys are creating. So maybe you want to do one option today and then another option tomorrow. Please do. And maybe you have your own idea. So now I'm going to take those, I'm going to curl them in. See how I'm doing that? And doing it and going around and around until I am completely happy with my flower. Now, on mine, I did quite a few layers. I did 1, 2, I think I did 4 different layers, and you'll notice I used some magazine for part of it. I used the others. And then when I was happy with it, I took another piece of construction paper, okay, and let's just say I want to use this part, okay, scoot over there, okay. I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to cut it out. Remember, we're not looking for perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. Okay, cut it out. Put some glue on it. Bring my art back. And I have a middle, okay? Now, if you want to do a stem, you can draw your stem if you want. You can take and maybe use a marker if you want to do your stem. You can cut out a piece and do your stem. Today, I think I'm just going to use a marker for my stem. Now watch, my stem gets a little bit bigger down at the bottom here. And then remember, beat the white. Don't be sloppy. Don't get all the way to the end and then ruin it by coloring as fast as you can and making it look like it is a sloppy copy, okay? Because artists never want to do that. They want to take their time. Sign it, as always. Now, as you can see, I'm not done with this one because when I'm finished, I want it to be large, and I could have kept going and going and going. Another extension you could do is you could paint the background if you wanted to, or color the background. So today, that's my hope, is that you have had the chance to learn a little bit about famous artist Tyree Guyton, and I'll show you some pictures at the end of this video. You'll be able to see him, and you've had the chance to create either a 3D-ish collage flower or a, wait for it, collage that you chose to make. I hope you guys didn't just do exactly what I did though, because I want to see your ideas. Another thing I did too is this I made at Christmas time. I went around my house and I found some old things and I made myself a fun deer headband for Halloween time. So when it's Halloween, you might see me wearing this next year. So I literally used just things around the house. I used a headband and then I put some twine on it here. I found some fake flowers and hot glued them on. I found these twigs. I had some felt. Actually, I had to go buy the felt, I think, at Hobby Lobby. So you might not be able to do that right now, and that's fine. But the ideas and the options are endless. And so I want you to use your imagination this week. And I want you to keep thinking about magic, trash, and Tyree Guyton. So have some fun. Make sure you clean up after yourself. That is super important because I don't want any angry parents saying that I challenged you guys to be extra messy. And also don't forget, no dumpster diving. See you guys next week.